It's dark moon today. Well, it's technically new moon tomorrow night, Brisbane time. However, when they say it's new moon time, like that's the peak new moon, but if you actually look at the picture of it, it's actually fully dark, right? So it's actually full dark moon, and then we move into the new moon energy. So today, yesterday, the day before, I always say 3 days either side of the peak of whatever moon, whether it's full moon or dark moon, new moon, whatever that is when we'll be feeling the most energy of that peak, yeah? Okay, so my name is Hannah. For those of you who don't know, welcome. If this is your first time to my live stream, please let me know. I am an intuitive healer for celebrities, and I'm here to wake up the world one person at a time. So I'm just going to share this, and I will be present with you. There's a lot I want to say, and then I'm like, actually, I'm running late to this live stream, and I've got another live stream to do in my private group for my students. And I don't know if late is the right word, because everything's always in divine time, but I will just post in there and tell them I was technically supposed to be there at 10, but I had to attend to something else first, which has just given me awesome content for another live stream. And I was like, oh, I could talk about, I was like wanting to talk about it now, and I'm like, oh, I really want to almost segregate the topics of my live streams, because people are asking me all these questions all the time, and I'm like, oh, I've got so much like that I can help people with. And so these angel numbers are what I want to talk about. And actually, I'm just going to flip this camera around because I forgot to do that before. So if you're watching this live stream, can you let me know if you see numbers all the time, right? Let me know, you know, if you see 111, 222, 44, 333, you know, and if you see any other numbers. So, you know, you might see a repetitive number. Maybe you wake up at the same time every morning and it's like 2:46 a.m. Like every time you look at the clock, it's 2:46, and it's like happens 4 days in a row or something, right? Tell me and comment below if you have that, right? If you've got any numbers that are repetitive for you, because I've got the Angel Numbers book here and I can read out the messages for you, and I'm going to talk about more of them every day, all day. Yeah, is there any specific numbers at all, Andrew? I'm just going to tell him then I'll be 15 minutes late so I can talk to you here, because this is important. 2. Okay. All right. So, because the thing with these angel numbers, well, they're called angel numbers on the book. I call them angel numbers on the book. You can get, well, you used to be able to get an app for it, right? But like the author of this book is Doreen Virtue, and she just changed to Christianity not too long ago. And I noticed that because in here, like there's the angel numbers, you can get it, can you see it, as an app on your phone, right? And like it was so handy, but since all the new updates, like, you know, everything, technology gets updated all the time. And I don't know if it's because she changed to Christianity. I know a lot of her products have been taken off the shelf or not in print anymore, which I'm a little bit sad about, because I love Doreen Virtue's teachings. You know, as you can see, this book is very well used. Look how well used this book is. I think this is my second one of these books, because the first one got so used as well, and then I ended up giving it away and I bought myself another one. So this little book lives in my car, so it's in my door, which probably shouldn't be reading the numbers while you're driving, but I'm always stopped when I look at the numbers. And since I've been, you know, looking at these numbers, it's like 12 years that I've been doing this, so I know a lot of the numbers off by heart because of it. For 12 years, it's a long time to do that. Yeah, so 111, 222, 333, all of them. Yeah, okay. So the first thing I want to say is that any number you get, and this goes for any message that you get, always tune into what it means for you, yeah? Because even though, you know, there's certain books or stuff that'll tell you it means this and it means that, you know, don't kind of take that for face value, in a sense of like, let it help you let it help you guide yourself, but you know, always tune into what it means for you. However, with the angel numbers for me personally, this has been like my, I guess, my savior to, you know, if I'm doubting something or I'm questioning something, you know, I'll just see a number and it'll be like, oh, you know, I'll read it and be like, okay, cool. It just gives me the kind of courage to keep going, keep trusting myself, keep moving along my path, right? And the thing is, you know, I see, the reason it's in my car is because I see number plates all the time. Car number plates jump out at me. I'll be driving along in my own mind, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, I'll just look at this car on the other side of the road, probably the other side of the lanes, you know, and it'll just be like beaming at me. I'm like, okay, got it, right, well, check that number soon, you know. It's like, that's, you know, or if the car number plates, you know, car's in front of me at the lights or whatever, and it's just like you'll be in my own little world as you are in your car and your lights, or you're sitting at the lights or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just like bing, or if you're not taking notice, a car will, like, you know, come in front of you and it'll have the same number plate as that number plate and then that number plate, and you're like, how can 3 cars have the same friggin' number plate, right? So it's like a way of your messages you know, getting to you. It's a way of your angels talking to you, right? Now, the specifics with, you know, 111 is, you know, and I'll read them out in here too, is like any ones are like, you know, your thoughts are manifesting at rapid paces, so be mindful of what you're thinking, you know, stay positive, that sort of thing, because that's what you're manifesting. So it says here, 111. Now, these are like, you know, obviously 3s because it's 0 to 100. So if there's like a double number, so if it's like, I saw someone else comment there. So if there's more than that, then, you know, you can just add the number on. So you look up 111 and then you look up 1 as well to get both the messages. Ah, so you've got that one too. There's an awesome link there that Andrew's just shared. Cool if you don't have the book, because yeah, so do I, Andrew, for sure. It just keeps you going, hey, like it just gives you the confidence to, you know, you're like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, or it just gives you that boost. Totally get that. So 111 is this number message. This number brings you the urgent message that your thoughts are manifesting instantly. So keep your mindset focused upon your desires. Give any fearful thoughts to heaven for transmutation. So, you know, it's just like, okay, cool, yeah, I've got to keep positive, or, you know, sometimes it might be in a negative state and it's just like, get that, and it's like, okay, cool, wake up, you know, like pick yourself back up out of that. 222, so any 2s are like, you know, have faith, you know, things are happening, you know, like keep the faith that's coming sort of thing. So 222 is trust that everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to, with divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go and have faith. Yeah, the messages go all day. Yeah, fully. I totally feel and hear that. Yeah, me too. I love seeing the numbers too, because they'll turn up everywhere. Like, you know, especially if I'm, you know, down, but it's not even when I'm down, or it's all the time, as you know. But it could be on, like, sometimes I remember getting a water bill a couple of months ago, and like the name or the invoice of the bill was like 111, and then like the actual amount that I had to pay was 133.33 or something, and I'm like, oh, come on, like, you know, in my inbox, or, you know, just things like that. It's like, okay, this is, you know, it's everywhere, right? So 333, 3s are always like the ascended masters. So, you know, Kuan Yin or Jesus Christ or Mother Mary, or there's so many saints and ascended masters, Buddha, all those sort of people. So ascended master means somebody who was in an incarnated, in a physical form like us, and then when they died, they ascended, like, but instead of going back completely to the spirit world, they chose to stay in the spirit, in the human world. What is that? They haven't completely crossed over, because they've chosen to stay on the earth plane in the spirit world to help people like us to raise the consciousness of the planet, right? So that's an ascended master. So you are completely surrounded, protected, loved, and guided by the benevolent ascended masters. So 3s always is that. The 4s are always angels. So whenever I see 444, it's I was like, I feel like I'm getting a big hug, because it just says there are angels. They are everywhere around you. You are completely loved, supported, and guided by many heavenly beings, and you have nothing to fear, which is the 444, right? And your email address, yeah. I just shared a post for 4 on Facebook before, like, I was gonna jump online well, when I jumped online and then looked at my feed before I came live, the memory came up of the angel numbers, and I'd already planned to do this live stream yesterday because I had people talking to me about the numbers, and I was like, oh, I need to do another live stream on that. And when I was 13, I just posted this before, when I was 13, like I was creating a Hotmail address, and I remember being so frustrated at the computer because nothing I typed in was available, and I just being so frustrated. But, you know, 921 at the end of my Hotmail account was available, and I was like, oh, well, I'll choose that. It wasn't too many years later that I actually looked at what 921 is in the book. Trust in your dreams about your spiritually based career because these ideas are divinely inspired. I'm like, oh, and that's been my email for like, you know, how many years now. I'm like, okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, 333, you see threes, yeah, 4s, 7s, 777. See, for me, number plates jump out a lot. And the other thing, I'll just read 777. Oh, no, I'll read all the triple numbers because they'll give you an idea of, you know, if you start seeing number sequences, what the 5s and stuff are. And as Andrew shared that awesome link there, you can check them out there if you don't have the book. The app still works on this phone for me because it's an older phone and I just use it for my music, and it won't update anymore, so that app stayed there, which I'm grateful for. Okay, so 5's all about change, yeah? So 555, huge changes are rumbling throughout your entire life. To keep these changes on the highest possible course, be sure to keep your thoughts positive and stay centered in prayer and affirmations, yeah? So always about change. Big changes, you know, you probably see 5s when you're moving house, or massive changes are going on in your life. 666, so 6s are always about the material world, and get your focus out of the material world into the spiritual world. So if you always think of like 666s associated with like the devil and stuff like that. So if you think, you know, and if you really think about the understanding or the, I guess the meaning or whatever about that, is, you know, if 666 is associated with the devil. And when we look at this, it says your thoughts are too focused on material illusions. Raise your thoughts spiritually to get your life back on track. So if you think of the word, you know, if you think of the meaning or the understanding of how they say, you know, the devil's bad and all this sort of thing. Well, if the devil is the ego and the devil is the illusion of the ego's projections of our material world and not tapped into the truth, which is spiritual consciousness and the, you know, the thread that goes through and what actually creates the physical in the first place, well then, yeah, it could be seen as the devil, because we can get trapped in this material illusion and forget the truth, which is our divine nature being, which is the thread that runs through us all, which the opposite of the devil is what? The truth, the love, right? Is love, yeah? So devil and, I don't know, God. I don't know, is that what it is? If you're not comfortable with God, love, universe, all of that, okay? So 777 is always, 7s are like a sign that you're always on the right path. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do too. When I see 777, when I see the triple numbers, I don't really need to look them up because I know exactly what they mean. Some of them, well, most of the others I do, but I'm like, oh, I've seen that one before, you know. And I'll speak about the shifts of receiving the numbers too in a moment. So 777, so 7s are always you're on the right path. 777 is you are definitely on the right path in every area of your life. Stay balanced and spiritually aware so that you can continue moving forward on this illuminated path, right? And it's, you know, 7s, you know, for example, 773, your prayers and meditations have helped you tap into accurate and trustworthy divine guidance. Because if you look at the 7s, well then it's, you know, you're on the right path, but the 3 is the ascended masters, so it's your intuition, it's all of that, yeah? Okay, 775 jumps out at me, maybe people need to hear these messages. 775 is you are exactly right to make important and healthful changes at your life in this time. So like I said, for me, number plates is the big one. Yes, definitely on other, wherever numbers are basically, but number plates are always a big one in the cars, driving, and that's why this book is so used. Okay, so 7, so 8s. 8s are always about abundance because 8 is the infinity symbol, right? And there's infinity, there's no end to that, right? So infinity is the 8, so always about abundance, money, financial support. So 888, this is a very auspicious sign of complete financial support from the universe. Money is flowing in your direction, right? So that's really helpful. And I remember I was kind of freaking out a little bit about money, and I'm like, I shouldn't be spending this much money on food, but I need food and blah blah. And when I got the food bill at the shop, it was like 108.08, and I'm like, oh, like immediately I knew there was eights. Let's just read 108. What does it say? So 108, here we go. So this is, you know, I was stressing. I'm like, I don't know if I should be spending this money, but food's important because I need to eat and like all this sort of thing, right? And then when I got it was 108.8. So when I looked at 108, I was like, 108 says, your positive thoughts and prayerful connection with God's infinite love have yielded an unending flow of abundance for you. And of course, everything worked out as it always does, but I always freak out. I'm like, oh my goodness. But of course. And then if we look at 08, well, 0 is your connection to God, and then 8 by itself is... The number 8 signifies abundance and prosperity. The endless loops in this number signify an infinite amount of money, infinite flow of money, time, ideas, or whatever else you require, especially for your life purpose. I'm like, okay, got it, got the message, trust, keep moving forward and trust, right? Because I was in my heart, I'm like, I need this food, but I'm not sure. Like the mind will always try and find a way out of it, right? Always. Okay, so 999. Whenever I see 999, and in the beginning of my spiritual journey, I'd see it all the time, and I'm like, but what? What am I supposed to be doing, right? So 999 is always about get to work, light worker, get on your life purpose now, right? So 999 this is a message signifying completion of an important chapter in your life, and now it's time to get to work without procrastination on your next life chapter. This number sequence is like an alarm clock ringing loudly in order to jolt you into working on your life purpose. So if you're seeing 999s everywhere, wake up. But like I said, I'd see them all the time. I'm like, but what do you want me to do? It took a long time, right? And hence why I create Trust Intuition, so it doesn't take you as long. Because I'm like, I need people to know this stuff so they don't have to go through what I went through. They just get it better, faster. So the thing I wanted to share too around the angel numbers is that, like I said, for me, I see them, you know, like my bus route thing for my bus number on, you know, the bus route that I took all the time when I used to live in Brisbane, was a sign as well. It was like, you know, moving onto, you know, it was like you're on the right track for your divine life purpose. I can't remember what the number was. Oh, it was 379. Thank you. Just popped in my head. So 379 was my bus number for a long time, and it said, keep praying and listening for guidance about your career path because you are presently on the right track for your divine life purpose. So at that time, even though I was living in the city, I was catching the bus to work every day in the city, and I'd go to yoga classes every day after work. Well, not every day, 3 times a week. That was not long after I got off the drugs, actually. So in 2005 I stopped taking recreational drugs, and then that was the middle of 2005. In the beginning of 2006, so 6 months later, I moved to Brisbane, got a job in the city, was catching the bus all the time, was 379, which is just, you're on the right track. I was working in a menswear shop selling Hugo Boss suits and high upper class suits. Hey Brendan. And I really loved working there at the time, and you know, that was the time when I started seeing, you know, because I was walking through the city all the time, there was like yoga flyers on the traffic light poles, and you know, I kept seeing them every time, and they just jumped out at me. It was like all I could see, you know, and I'm like, okay, I get the message, right, I'm going to a yoga class. I'd never been to yoga class before. And then I tried it, and then it was like religion for me. It was like going to my yoga class 3 times a week, like every day, or 3 times a week after work. When I was working in the city, I went to a studio in the city, and if anyone wanted to catch up, I'd be like, yep, I'll be free at 8 o'clock, because I had to go to yoga. It was like my thing, right? And I absolutely loved it. And then 2 years later did my teacher training. However, yeah, I'll read some numbers out for you guys in a minute. If you're just joining and you see some numbers, I'll read them out in a second. Hey, all these people joining, hi. So, and the point of my story is that because I've been seeing numbers for a long time, they've helped me, right? So if I look back and I think, wow, you know, like going you know, living in Brisbane, catching the bus, you know, I had a lot of time to myself at that point in time. I was living with a lady, but I never saw her. I was pretty much living on my own, had a lot of time to myself in Brisbane, really, you know, really shifted gears from coming out of the, you know, recreational drugs and dance scene, and just had like, it was almost like, it was 18 months I was in Brisbane, and it was this, I don't know, healing time or something. I was going to yoga all the time. And it kind of shifted my life. And if I look at that, you know, 379, or you're on the right path for your divine life purpose, I'm like, well, yeah, I was at that time. I needed to live there, have that space, experience all I did when I was living in Brisbane, go to yoga for as long as I did before I became a teacher. And, you know, just, it's like everything that you're doing is on track for your life purpose. If you're continually asking, what is my life purpose? What do you want me to do? What am I here for? If you're continually asking these questions and then continually turning up when you ask those questions and you're listening, then keep trusting that you're on the right path for your divine life purpose. There's no way back in, you know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, that I could see that I'd be doing this now. Back then, I always knew that I had a huge life purpose. I always knew that I'd be traveling the world, you know, speaking on stages, doing all this thing, and that's about to happen. But I didn't know how that was going to happen, and I thought it would have happened a lot quicker than it did. However, there's a divine purpose and reason for everything you go through in your life to prepare you to have a depth of understanding about different situations, places, people, things, all that sort of thing, so that you can help the world on a grander scale, especially if you've got that inner calling about, you know, like that you've got a big life purpose, because you know it, you feel it, right? Deep inside you, you know that there's something big for you, right? You know you have a big purpose, and you've probably been through hell as well, right? Because the biggest light workers on the planet have had the darkest pasts, yeah? Why? Because we know what that sense of, we can, I guess, have compassion for the darkest aspects of humanity and be able to help people on a grander scale because we've had that experience. You can't have that compassion, understanding, and know how to help somebody or the planet if you haven't experienced it. You might have an idea, but you haven't felt it, right, at a cellular level. Yeah, so a lot of people agreeing there. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying that, truth bumps. So I guess what I'm saying is that if you're feeling like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and, you know, I keep asking but nothing's happening, like, trust that whatever you're doing right now is exactly what you're meant to be doing if you're asking those questions, like I said. Because back in Brisbane for 18 months, and then I moved to the Gold Coast and lived there, and I was working for a finance firm and in an office, and I hated it. And then I ended up moving back to a pet shop, but then in the meantime I fell pregnant with my daughter, so I ended up becoming a mum, and at the same time I was doing my yoga teacher training, and then I started teaching mums and bubs yoga after I had her, and then everything just fell into place after that. So continue to trust that you are on the right path if you keep turning up with those questions and just keep turning up to the next step. Yeah. So, okay, so the point I wanted to say is that for me, the angel numbers and the number sequences have been my thing of like, yes, I'm on the right track. It's just that extra confirmation. We might know inside of ourselves, but then we doubt and blah, blah, blah. But when I would get numbers, it would help me. Now, in a particular period of my life, I would get the same sort of numbers all the time. And I know when I've just had a big shift in my life, or I've just shifted to the next level or the next chapter, as they say, because I start seeing a new bunch of number sequences, and I get excited because I'm like, oh, I haven't got that number before. And then I realize, you know, because it happened several times over the many years, and I'm like, oh, I've just shifted again. I'm like, yay. So, you know, that was just a sign for me. Now, it might not be numbers for you. It might be some other form of tool that you use, right? And it just gives you that extra boost and confidence, especially if you've got a massive life purpose, because a lot of us who have big life purposes on this planet usually are well ahead of their time. If we look at Mother Teresa, for example, and you know, what was she saying? You know, if you invite me to an anti-war rally, I will not attend. Invite me to a pro-peace rally and I will attend. Why? Because she knew the power of focusing on war, even though it's anti-war, and we didn't want it. We're all focusing on anti-war. It's still war. We're still focusing on war. Focus on peace, and it's a completely different energy. This is what we want to be feeding, right? Not that one. So all those who have big life purposes usually are ahead of your time. That's why people think you're crazy. That's why you doubt yourself, because everyone around you is just like, what are you talking about? You know, so, and that's when it comes into finding your tribe and trusting yourself over anyone else on this planet, right? So let me check these numbers. There's a couple of people. Okay, so you said you always see 9/11, Heidi. So 9/11 is 9/11. Just what I was talking about, funnily enough. It's very important that you keep a positive mindset concerning your spiritually based career ideas. Positive thoughts are your most important asset right now. Hello. So keep turning up, keep turning up. So Brandon, I just read 888 and 555 out 4, but I'm going to read them again because 888 is awesome. It's the abundance number. 888 is, this is a very auspicious sign of complete financial support from the universe. Money is flowing in your direction. Now, if you get those sort of numbers and that's not what you're experiencing, that's when you need to bump your faith up and, you know, ask for your faith to be raised, because that's the vibration you need to be in to let it in, yeah? It's just a boost in faith and confidence that you are on the right path. 555 is big changes. Huge changes are rumbling throughout your entire life. To keep these changes on the highest possible course, be sure to keep your thoughts positive and stay centered in prayer and affirmation. Big changes rumbling. And you know, that 888 and 555 for you, Brandon, specifically, you know, like it's a thing. It's like you could be working towards creating like massive income or more income, but it's not happened yet. But 555 is like the huge changes are happening, so it's shifting you into that. You know, keep positive because it's happening, right? Okay, so Heidi says, that's how I am right now. I've always seen myself taking too many. Yeah, that's big. Yeah, the life purpose is big. Hey, Catherine, there's lots of people joining. Hey, Tammy. Goosebumps, yeah. Truth bumps. All right, so 7. So yeah, 7 is, I'll read 7 and then 77. So 7 is you're on the right path and the outcome will exceed your expectations. The number 7 is a sign that divine magic is supporting you and opening doors of opportunity. So, oh, I just saw there's 7 people live on the live stream. Are you listening to that message? Let me read it again. You're on the right path and the outcome will exceed your expectations. The number 7 is a sign that divine magic is supporting you and opening doors of opportunity. And now there's 8 people, so you step into the abundance when you continue to have the faith. I'm going to read 777 because it's a message of double seven is keep up the great work. Everything you're doing right now has the Midas touch. So that's when you really need to keep your thoughts positive and, you know, like keep that flow happening, because what you're doing is manifesting into form, right? And whatever you're thinking about or whatever you're focusing on is where that energy's going. All right, 222. 222, trust that everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to, with divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go and have faith. It's a big sign of faith. Yeah, 222s, all 2s have faith. So even number 2 by itself is everything's fine and will continue to be so. Keep believing, especially since your feelings of hope lead to more positive outcomes. The angels can help buoy your faith if you ask for their help. So if you're seeing 222s all the time, you might check in and go, oh yeah, I'm actually really worried about that. Can you please help me raise my faith so that, you know, I can believe that that's going to happen, sort of thing, yeah? 1111 right now, yeah. Are you in, you must be in, wait, are you in, I thought you were in New Zealand, Catherine, but I must be mixing you up with somebody else. Are you in Sydney then? Because it's 10 o'clock here because I'm in Brisbane time, so, but I know Sydney's that, or New South Wales, and Melbourne, I think. So 11, this number brings you the urgent message that your thoughts are manifesting instantly. So keep your mindset focused upon your desires. Give any thoughts, fearful thoughts, to heaven for transmutation. So, and that's 1 as well. 1 is stay positive. Everything you're thinking about right now is coming true. So be sure that you're only thinking about what you desire. Give any fears to God. So whenever I see 1111, I always seem to have that on my phone. I'm like, yeah, cool. And it's like when I'm feeling a bit down, it's a reminder that, oh my God, my thoughts are manifesting. So I need to amp my positive thoughts back up. And if, you know, if I'm in a good mood, I'm like, yes, this is what I want to be feeling because this is creating, and I know that the portals are open and everything's manifesting, so let's keep going, right? You're in Sydney. Yeah, cool. All right. So I just read 222 out before, and I've read it out before, so I won't read it again, so you just have to re-watch the live stream. But it is a have faith message. 333 I read out before. At the very start I went through all the triple numbers. So if you just joined the live stream, you might want to re-watch and check out all the number meanings there. And Andrew kindly put in a link a bit further down the comments to how you can check the angel numbers. I think it's on a website as well, because you can, not sure if the book's still in print or not, but you can see mine's very well used. All right, 333. You are completely surrounded, protected, loved, and guided by the benevolent ascended masters. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome, Tammy. You keep waking up at 3:33 a.m. Oh, I just read it there for you. So it's that same thing. You're completely surrounded, protected, loved, and guided by the benevolent ascended masters. With that too, you know, when you're waking up at a particular time, yes, it's a message. And usually I find once you get the message, the lesson and the understanding, you'll stop seeing those numbers, or you'll move to the next level, or, you know, you'll shift to a different chapter, or, you know, that sort of thing. The thing with waking up in the middle of the night like that too, if you look on the traditional Chinese medicine clock, I'll see if I can find a link here. Okay, I always share this link. I think this is the same one. So I'll share this in, because with the traditional Chinese medicine, our organs in our body have a particular time that they're most active, and then from a metaphysical perspective, you can get an understanding of what's going on in your life and get the message from your angels, from your intuition, from, you know, just helping that organs. Because if you keep ignoring that message, intuitive message, that's when your organs start to get sick, or get diseased and that sort of thing. But when we're like, okay, cool, I'm waking up, what does that mean? Okay, my liver's talking to me, I need to make some changes in my life because someone's overstepping my boundaries or whatever. I'll just post that link in the comments now. This is an awesome site, this one. I always check that one, so you can always look at that. Is it Adeline? Is that how you say your name? So definitely go and check that out, because yeah, or different times, like it's got all during the day too, like it's the whole 24 hours, and each of our organs have that. So, you know, even if you get tired at, you know, 3 o'clock, you know, I know people think it's just normal to be tired at 3 o'clock. It's actually not. There's different, yeah, you're welcome, go and check it out. It's really, really helpful. So, you know, she does share a bit of metaphysical stuff on there, and that's why I like that. But then obviously you can look in a metaphysical book, like I always refer to, or, you know, like me, I'm kind of get to understand. I'm like, okay, well, that's that. But yeah, even in the daytime, you know, if, you know, what is that, 5 o'clock, start to get angry or frustrated, you know, it's like, I think it's kidney time, you know, so it's like your kidneys are struggling a bit and need a bit more support, or, you know, all those sorts of things. So you can really help your body and help your life with those two little snippets. So thanks for joining me live. Okay, I just wanted to talk quickly about the dark moon as well. What are you releasing? In a sense that, you know, it is dark moon. There's been a few people contacting me, and even I've had it, you know, like just sensing old relationships or old partners or old stuff, even repetitive patterns coming up. And it's kind of like, well, what am I doing? I thought that was done. Why do I need to contact them? You know, what's happening? Now, with the dark moon time, and I teach this in my course, that it's, so we've got new moon, right, on that, which is tomorrow night, Australian time, but the 3 days leading up to either a full moon or peak time, or whatever peak time of that moon is, the 3 days either side are usually when we're going to feel it the most. So we've been the past 2 days and today in that, you know, lead up to the peak time. So if you're having old thoughts or feelings or anything about an old relationship or something like that, the dark moon, which they say new moon is on that peak time, but if you actually look at it, it's completely black. So, you know, it's still dark moon, and it takes a kind of a day or two to start kicking into the actual new moon energy, and we get a thing, because what we're doing as we lean up to the dark moon is we're shedding, right? That's why it goes dark. It's like leading from all the brightness, and it gets darker and darker. We're shedding all that stuff so that we can, you know, bring new life. And, you know, usually menstrual cycles, usually if you're in tune with that, usually you shed around the dark moon. You have your moon cycle around the dark moon, right? which for me happened yesterday, and I was like, well, I woke up so tired. I'm like, why am I so tired? Been waking up at 4 a.m, buzzing with energy, getting all this life purpose stuff done. And I'm like, oh, I really get given all the energy I need to do my life purpose. I need to stress about that. But yesterday I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I started my moon flow, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense, right? Like perfect timing. I'm like, oh yeah, new moon, dark moon, got it. So it's like, is that why I'm dreaming about an old love more often? Yeah, especially in this past week, definitely. So leading up to that. And the reason that it happens, or the reason it comes into your awareness or your consciousness, they might be feeling it too, thinking about you, that sort of thing. The kind of advice that I give is just sit with it. Because when we're shedding all this stuff, whatever is, especially if we're working forward to, create new life, create whatever abundance, whatever we're working towards and creating in our life, then if say an energy or a thread or a belief system that we're holding that's still connected to an ex-lover or something like that, will just kind of come back in our consciousness again. Yes, they might be sending energy, or like might be tuning in, whatever like that. However, it's up to you to take responsibility for what you're feeling. And then it's, the advice I give is just to watch it, observe it. Okay, this is interesting. I'm feeling, sensing, getting messages, dreaming about an ex or a relationship, a girlfriend, whatever. It could be any person, dad, whatever. Okay, well, this is interesting. Maybe there's a bit of healing that I still need to do about that. And, it's not like, oh, I need to contact them and sort this out, or no, it's just like, just be aware of it, sit with it, and just know that it's dark moon. Just kind of ask, okay, well, what belief system am I holding around that's connected to this relationship? Or what sort of healing do I need to do to, let go of that past? Or, just ask those questions, and then trust your intuition will show you, okay? Because your intuition's already showing you what you're needing to still shift out of your vibration if you're being, especially moving forward, right? So the advice I give is just to watch it, observe it, ask those questions, do your inner work, and then give it a week. So by next week, it'll be in this full swing of new moon energy, and then you can check in again. Okay, do I need to contact them, or do I need to do anything about that? No, I don't actually. And even because the energy would have shifted. So you might need to do some more healing work or forgiveness or whatever the process is, right? But it's like, just, you sometimes you might not need to do anything. You might just go, oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, and just watching it even, watching it and observing it without doing anything, and having compassion and love for it and the situation and everything that was, might be all that you need, right? So just, do those sorts of things, and then, yeah, just check in next week, and just see if you've still got the same feelings or intuitive messages or all that sort of thing. Or it, if, because the other part of that is if there is something that you actually need to do or get in contact with them or something like that, they will contact you. Do you know what I mean? Like, let the universe handle it, and just sit back and observe, ask the questions, listen, and then check in again in a week, always around dark moon time. Especially, what's the other one, like Mercury retrograde, and we have those a couple of times a year. It's like 3 or 4 weeks or 3 to 5 weeks that we feel that, and so that's when past lovers and stuff might come into our awareness again. I think by memory too, there was something I saw that coming, I'm not an astrologer, but I see bits and stuff, giving out to the universe. Yay, do that, yeah, hand it over. Is that there's something around, I don't know if it's this moon or in 2 weeks, I know it's a super full moon. I do hold full moon online live ceremonies, so that will be in 2 weeks time that I'm holding that. I'll post a link in the comments for that. December 5th is Mercury retrograde. Yeah, so like I said, with the new moon or full moon, we'll be feeling the energy of it really strongly, the 3 days either side. So I've personally noticed that with Mercury retrograde, it's about 3 weeks or something, but I've noticed that a week either side of that 3 weeks, we're starting to come into the energy of it. So, just be mindful of that. It is good to get an awareness. So, when past lovers do turn up, you're like, oh, am I meant to be with them? It could be the old threads that you're just needing to heal, let go. And then if you are meant to be together, well, then the universe will make that happen too. Okay. So yeah. So that's what I wanted to share about the dark moon. It was important to share that too, so I hope that's helped you. So if you think this live stream can help somebody, please tag them, please share it publicly or in a private message to them. And if you've been following me, you'd see that Trust Your Intuition doors are open, and that's only until the 29th of November. So you'll need to jump in if you want to do that. That's a self-paced online course with everything that I talk and teach about. It's all in there simply because I created this course because all the questions that everyone asks me all the time, and how to heal them, how to move on from past lovers, heal wounds, all that sort of things. So you're not retracting the same repetitive situations all the time in your life, and can actually align with your life purpose in a very purposeful, big way. And what else was I going to say? So yeah, I'll post a link to the full moon ceremony as well online if you want to join that. It's a live event that you can join that ceremony. They're intuitively guided that I teach them. Teach or hold them, I should say, and I just intuitively, you know, channel whatever comes through in that ceremony. They last for an hour online, so I'll post the link to the comments, post the link in the comments for that too. So I hope this has helped you this morning. I felt really cool to come on and talk about that. Remember to keep it really real. Lots of love. Namaste.